So what do you get when you have Adam Driver, some dinosaurs, and Sam Raimi doing a movie together? Well, let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of 65, the newest film from directors Scott Beck and Bryan Woods. Okay, so what happens when you have a movie that has no reviews, is a directorial debut for two writers of The Quiet Place, and stars Adam Driver? You get a film about dinosaurs, about a man traveling through space that crash lands 65 million years in the past, and you get a film where an individual played by Adam Driver, a young girl played by Ariana Greenblatt, basically have to survive the planet, survive the dinosaurs, and travel to find an escape pod to escape what is an incoming comet. And that's your plot for this movie 65. And so the reason I'm kind of sarcastic with my review, or not my review, but my plot of this movie, the fact that this movie had no reviews on the day it was released. I'm reviewing this, I'm putting this out the day it released, and that's problematic because if you think about it, when you have a movie come out and it looks as entertaining or as interesting as this, and it's produced by Sam Raimi, you think somebody would have seen it, and there have been a couple Twitter responses and stuff like that, but you're sitting here going, what is wrong with this movie? And on top of that, Scott Beck and Bryan Woods are known for writing the Quiet Place, the movie that's directed by John Krasinski. And so I went into this movie optimistic. I love Adam Driver. Chloe Coleman's in this movie. Ariana Greenblatt, which is, I think it's probably one of her first movies. And it's a cool movie about like dinosaurs and stuff like that. Dinosaurs are always a cool thing. And so I'm watching this movie, and this is for my honest review, and I like the premise of this movie. I like the fact that this is a movie about an individual trying to find a cure for her daughter and stuff like that. But the problem with this movie, and the reason I realize why it's honestly where it's at, is because of the simple fact that it's not a very entertaining movie, to be fairly honest. It's a very bland movie. It's not a bad movie. There are some moments with the dinosaurs that are cool when Adam Driver fights the dinosaurs, a young girl fights the dinosaurs, but they're too far in between, I guess, movies or whatever, in between the scenes. And a lot of it's just them walking around, and that's really, really boring, to be fairly honest. You're sitting here going, it's like in The Simpsons when you go, when are we going to get to the fireworks factory? And that just doesn't happen very much. And, the big moments you see in the trailers are the big moments you see in the movie. And that's always a problem thing to say and see. And it's like, I'm sitting here going, you have all this like premise, the idea of going back in time to the 65 million years to when the comet or the asteroid is going to hit. And this is what you're getting. I don't know. I feel like this is a movie that has a lot of stuff cut out of it to make it 93 minutes. And that's also very weird for a movie like this. This should be like a 210, like 120 minutes or something like that. But, it feels like a movie that they needed to get to pretty quickly. They needed to move it along pretty quickly. It feels like a movie that maybe through the test screenings that they felt like it was, not going to be well received, but is going to be entertaining for a lot of people. And I guess that's what it breaks down to. It's a well shot movie. There's some really cool scenes. For instance, there's a scene where you're seeing like a bunch of like tornadoes form in the background, and that's really cool. There's some shots in here where the CGI effects, I guess, is like a $91 million production, but it got a tax cut of like $46 million. And you sit there and watch it, and some of these dinosaurs are like when you watch Ice Age, the original Ice Age, and you see all the creatures and dinosaurs, they all look the same. They're all poorly rendered. If you think about it, it's like Burndemic in a lot of respects with some of these creatures. I mean, they're not well put together. Then there's some creatures that are really menacing and cool looking. And on top of that, it feels like they're aiming more for like a Jurassic Park feel when it comes to the dinosaurs instead of like a real life feel. So I don't know if like along the way when this movie was being made, if there were things that they wanted but they couldn't afford, so they tried to find interesting ways by using like some of the technology, because this is like advanced civilization, because this is a movie about people traveling and crash landing on Earth. So like for instance, like when a dinosaur attacks, you'll see like the little reader that Adam Driver uses to like try and figure out where his escape pod is, and you'll see like the dinosaurs attacking Adam Driver, and that's a really cool thing. You go into this movie expecting a lot of dinosaur action. There's not a lot of dinosaur action. It's just a lot of it's like watching that Midnight Sun movie or whatever it was that George Clooney was in. There's just a lot of him and the Koa character just back and forth talking and dealing with his like daughter that's very sick, and I don't know. I found the movie just kind of bland, to be fairly honest. Found it kind of boring. And for a movie about dinosaurs in action, it just doesn't deliver. This feels like a first film for a directorial effort for a couple of directors who have some success with writing. But there's a reason for this film not getting reviews. It's because they were worried that it was not gonna test very well. And once again, it's produced by Sam Raimi, so you got to at least give him some credit for this type of film. But with that said, it's not a bad film. You will enjoy some of it. You will enjoy, maybe you'll enjoy all of it. Who knows, depending on how you feel. But for 93 minutes and what it's trying to do, I think it's way too tightly put together. It doesn't expand the action. It just feels a little rushed. So overall, a disappointment. You get what you get. So with that said, that is going to be my take on this film 65. It could have been better, but could have been much, much worse in a lot of respects. So anyways, with that said, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching my review of 65. As I always say in the comments below, if you see this movie, what did you think? Did you think it was worth watching? Do you think it could have been better? All that good stuff. Otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, find out what's coming next. Of course, hit that like button. And as I always say, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.